Fargard 15. 1-8. On 5 sins, the commission of which makes the sinner a pesho tanu. 9-19. On unlawful unions and attempts to procure miscarriage. 20-45. On the treatment of a bitch dog with young. A female dog, as some people may not get that, apparently. 46-51. On the breeding of dogs. Part 1 compromises what is called 1, 4, 9, 11, 16, 18, 22, 25. 1. How many are the sins that men commit, and that, being committed and not confessed, nor atone for, make their committer a peshu tanu? 4. Ahura answered, there are 5 such sins, O holy Zarathustra. The first of these 3 sins that men commit when a man teaches one of the faithful a foreign wrong creed, a foreign wrong law, and he does so with full knowledge and conscience of the sin. This is a sin that makes him a pesho tanu. And so it's another wrong creed, whether it's foreign or not. It's the literal thing. And the commentator says, well, it's one that's not ours. But what it should be is one that's not, not in accord with the revelation and inspiration that came to Zarathustra or some other, or further on, the prophet of the time and place. The actual one called by Ahura, of course. 9. It is the second of these sins that men commit when a man gives too hard bones or too hot food to a shepherd's dog or to a house dog. 11. If the bones stick in the dog's teeth or stop in his throat, or if the hot food burns his mouth or his tongue, so that the mischief follows therefrom, and the dog dies, there is a sin that makes the man a pesho tanu. Whereas Ravet says, he who gives too hot food to a dog so as to burn his throat is a margarzon, guilty of death. He who gives bones to a dog so as to tear his throat is a margarzon. 16. It is the third of these sins that men commit when a man smites a bitch big with young, or affrights her by running after her, with shouting, or with clapping of hands, or with stamping of the ground, says Sadar 31. 18. If the bitch falls in a hole, or a well, or a precipice, or a river, or a canal, so that the mischief follows therefrom, and she dies, this is a sin that makes the man a pesho tanu. If a bitch is big with young, and a man shouts or throws stones at her so that the whelps come to mischief and die, he is a margarzon, according to the Ravet 639. 22. It is the fourth of these sins that men commit when a man has intercourse with a woman who has an issue of blood, either out of the ordinary course or at the usual period. This is a sin that makes him a pesho tanu. And 25. It is the fifth of these sins that men commit when a man has intercourse with a woman quick with child, whether the milk has already come to her breast or has not yet come. If mischief follow therefrom, and she die, this is a sin that makes the man a pesho tanu. And so when she's become pregnant for 4 months and 10 days, as it is then that the child is formed, and a soul is added to its body. Or so they believe. a lot of this book, this is just what is being stated. I'm not necessarily saying that the physical claims are always going to be the case. If the child die, if a man come to his wife during her pregnancy so that she is injured and bring forth a stillborn child, he's a margarzon. And rather at 115. Well, you should be gentle with the women anyways, but Part 2 compromises what's called 30, 34, 36, 38, 40, and 43. 30. If a man come near unto a damsel, either dependent on the chief of the family or not dependent, either delivered unto a husband or not delivered, and she conceives by him, let her not from dread of the people produce in herself the menses against the course of nature by means of water and plants. And of course, they mean by drugs. There's long been abortion and other sorts of plants known for certain causes, but whether she has a husband in the house of her own parents or has none, whether she has entered from the house of her own parents into the house of the husband, depending on another chief of family, or has not. 34. And if the damsel from dread of the people shall produce in herself the menses against the course of nature by means of water and plants, there is a sin upon her head. It's a tanafuhar sin for her. It is sin on sin, the first sin being to have allowed herself to be seduced. Commentary. If she's made a decision, maybe she was the one doing the seducing. It's a weird way of talking, but anyways, if there has been no sin in her, if she has been forced, okay, well, of course. And if a man, knowing her shame, wants to take it off her, he shall call together her father, mother, sisters, brothers, husband, the servants, the menials, and the master, and the mistress of the house, and he shall say, this woman is with child by me, and I rejoice in it. And they shall answer, we know it, and we are glad that her shame is taken off her, and he shall support her as a husband does. Well, in the Bible, you have that forced marriage thing upon rape victims, and if this is thought of as something separate, okay, but if it's together, yeah, no. 36. If a man come near unto a damsel, either dependent on the chief of the family or not dependent, either delivered unto a husband or not delivered, and she conceives by him, let her not, from dread of the people, destroy the fruit in her womb. 38. And if the damsel from dread of the people shall destroy the fruit in her womb, the sin is on both the father and herself. The murder on both the father and herself. Both the father and herself shall pay the penalty for willful murder. A lot of people will be really pleased with the way they're treating abortion in that case. A lot of people, the opposite. I think most people something in between, I would think. 40. Well, they're talking about the Ba'ado Varsta, but there's 40. If a man come near unto a damsel, either dependent on the chief of the family or not dependent, either delivered unto a husband or not delivered, and she conceives by him, and she says, I have conceived by thee, and he replies, go then to the old woman, and apply to her, that she may procure thee miscarriage. 43. And the damsel goes to the old woman, and applies to her, that she may procure her miscarriage, and the old woman brings her some banga, or sha'eta, or nana, or fraspata, or some other of the drugs that produce miscarriage, and the man says, cause thy fruit to perish, and she causes her fruit to perish, the sin is on the head of all three, the man, the damsel, and the old woman. So banga is bang, or mang, and archaic made from hemp seed. Sha'eta means literally gold. It must have been some yellow plant or liquor. Gnana is that which kills the fruit in the womb. Fraspata is that which expels the fruit so that it perishes. And, well, probably good that there's a commentary, because some of those things may have been not quite understood, other than they're just different types of things. 3. Compromises 49, 54, 16 and 17 are listed as 54. Maybe 17 would be 55. I don't know. 56, 58, 61, 63, 65, 60, 68, 70, 76, 77, 78, 81, 84, 86, 89, 92, 94, 97, 100, 102, 105, 108, 110, 112, 113, 115, 117, 122, 123. 49. If a man come near unto a damsel, either dependent on the chief of the family or not dependent, either delivered unto a husband or not delivered, and she conceives by him, so long shall he support her until the child is born. 54. If he shall not support her, so that the child comes to mischief, for want of proper support, he shall pay the penalty for willful murder. 54, which maybe we say 55. Maybe that's misprint or something, but that's what's listed here. O maker of the material world, thou holy one, if she be near her time, and be laying on the high road, which is the worshipper of Mazda, that shall support her. 56. Ahura Mazda answered, it a man come near unto a damsel, either dependent on the chief of the family or not dependent, either delivered unto a husband or not delivered, and she conceives by him, so long shall he support her until the child is born. 58. If he shall not support her, and I guess there's missing sentences, it lies with the faithful to look in the same way after every pregnant female, either two-footed or four-footed, either woman or bitch, female dog. Just like I'm rendering, certain word as a donkey, because 61, O maker of the material world, thou holy one, if a bitch be near her time, and be laying on the high road, which is the worshipper of Mazda that shall support her. 63. Ahura Mazda answered, he whose house stands nearest, the care of supporting her is his. So long shall he support her until the whelps are born. And so the woman would have been brought about. Uh, 65. If he shall not support her, so that the whelps come to mischief, for want of proper support, he shall pay the penalty for willful murder. 68. O maker of the material world, thou holy one, if a bitch be near her time, and be lying in a camel stall, which is the worshipper of Mazda, that shall support her. 70. Ahura Mazda answered, he who built the camel stall, or who holds it, the care of supporting her is his. So long shall he support her until the whelps are born. 76. If he shall not support her, so that the whelps come to mischief, for want of proper support, he shall pay the penalty for willful murder.